Hello, welcome back to Mike's Rusty Finds. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Today we're going to try to replace a soft line and finally get the brakes working on this thing. So let's get into it. Good morning, everybody. So today we're going to try to replace this crusty, rusty soft line for the rear of my 1956 F500. And as you can see, it's been a minute since it's been off. That's the last soft line that I need to change for this brake system. All the wheel cylinders have been taken care of, and this is the only one left to take care of. So let's see what we can do about this. Okay, the first thing that we need to do is we're going to juice this line down a little bit. A little bit of PB Blaster. And we're going to give it a little heat. See if we can burn something down. Kind of loosen this thing up a little bit. Give this line a little love tap. The idea is to be able to twist this line without having it move. I might have to get under there the other way. Well, there's the line. Ow. Yeah, the line's moving. Maybe. Hold it from the other side. Nope. Doesn't like it. So I have to use a little juice heat to get this sucker broke loose again. see if this is the magic one. Well, something broke loose. Hopefully I don't have to remake a brake line here. So I'm going to juice this down and heat it up a little bit some more. 70 years is a long time. Something to be screwed together. Problem is, I can't really see much under here. I think this line's twisting. Well, come on. Might be the one brake line that I have to remake. Okay, she's free. Get a regular wrench now. Well, we got the top of the soft line taken care of. Now all I need to do is unscrew this bottom, and then we can replace this line. Of course, couldn't be that easy. Looks like we're going to have to do the same to this line we did the small one. Doing all of this, just don't want to damage something that I can't replace, or it's going to take forever. This one should come out. I believe this blocked brass, but we're going to be conservative with the whole thing. Might have to get our mini wrench here. Oh! Almost knocked you guys over. Okay, give me a minute and I'll get this thing all out. Okay, out with the old. And we got a nice new line here to put back in. And hopefully I get everything together. I'll bleed the brakes, nothing leaks. Yeah, we'll see how that works out, because there's always something. Anyway, we will be back. Get this sucker popped on. So after much struggling, I got my softball line installed. And now we're going to come over and we're going to bleed the brakes and see what leaks or doesn't leak. Okay, there's a view of the passenger side rear. And let's put some fluid through this thing. See what kind of drama ensues. Well, we have a big leak on the passenger side rear tire. So we're going to have to pull that apart, and it could be the wheel cylinder that I rebuilt. But I had brakes for a minute. Well, folks, it looks like the wheel cylinder that Mike rebuilt did not fare very well. I was afraid of that. All the other wheel cylinders are new. So I guess we are going to have to order us a wheel cylinder again. The one I got, the bolt pattern didn't match up to the spud on the back. Well, back to square one. Or square 4. All the other wheels are fine. Just this one. Well, it's a few weeks later. We had to order some parts. We need to get this wheel back off and put this side of the brakes back together. So I'll get back when the wheel's off. This wheel cylinder right here is why this side of the brakes massively leaking. I rebuilt this and honed it out, but it was pretty cruddy and disgusting because the wheel cylinder that I had bought, the bolt pattern was bad on the backside. So it's been several weeks, so I've ordered another one and I've already checked it and it should match. So we're going to get this all cleaned up and tore back apart again and see what we can get done. Okay. Get this guy all blown off again. I'm definitely going to have some clean brake fluid by the time I get done. They're leaking out all this crud. I'm not going to bore you all with me disassembling this whole thing. So we'll come back when we get all these pieces and parts taken. Ooh, wind is crazy today. All these pieces and parts taken off. Okay, we've gotten this thing stripped down. Kind of cleaned off. Hopefully I didn't lose any parts. So first thing we need to do is put the wrong wrench on here. Try to take that tube off. So looks like I'm gonna need to get a 3/8. Okay. At least I don't have to heat this one up to take it off, because I've already had it off. The trick is going to be to get it back on without cross-threading it. It's always nice when the nut is almost too loose for a wrench and too tight for your fingers. This thing has a long thread. I think she's out of there. I'm gonna take the new wheel cylinder and kind of fish it into this fitting first before I tighten the bolts down on the bag. So let's get that thing off the back. Yep. Okay, sure. Here we go. should be 1/2 inch. It's one thing about having to keep taking things apart is you loosen up all the bolts ahead of time. Unless you tighten them up too much. Okay, now it's loose. I had to pause the camera because I gotta keep it kid friendly. Don't want any cussing if I don't have to. Do enough of that at work. You. And there's you. And there is my old wheel cylinder that I completely failed at rebuilding. It didn't blow out until I started the truck up and the master cylinder going. Or the vacuum booster. And then she just leaked right out. Doesn't look like the piston was moving. Guess that's just the way it goes. Let's procure the next wheel cylinder. Okay, out with the old. In with the new. Gonna get one of these bolts in the back. Kind of hold this in place while I gently make sure that this tube threads in like it's supposed to. You don't really want to bind one of these and mess up the seat or the thread or the tube. Ask me how I know. Yeah, that's going in good. I put a little Teflon tape on there just to help it seal. Now all of my wheel cylinders are going to be new, which is what I should have done to begin with. But I had to try to rebuild one, and it was a dismal failure. went in. Now when you're using sockets, you really want to put the socket down somewhere where you can't find it. Just makes it more fun that way. There we go. Okay. All right. Maybe I should tighten up this tube too, so I don't have to pull the wheel back off again with another leak. I had that happen on the other one. This one a little tickle down here. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Now we're gonna put this all back together, hopefully without losing any parts. And then when I get back, we'll be bleeding the brakes again. And hopefully I can check brakes off of the list on this old truck for once. That would be good. You ever been working on a project and you look over and there's a spare part that you forgot to put back on? Yeah, me either. So, fortunately, I only have to take the hold down nuts off the back to get this heat shield back on. I don't know what I was thinking, but that's what happens. So give me a minute and we'll pop this thing back on. Okay, now that it's back together, we can the heat shield in the right place. We can put it back together, and then when it leaks again, we can take it back apart and figure out what I did this time. So, sure. We'll make an attempt getting this back together, and I'll come back when the shoes are all on. Okay, putting these brakes back together needs 3 hands, 2 hammers, vice grips, and divine intervention. And I wound up with a leaky crossover tube. I took it back apart, cleaned everything, put it back together, and we'll put the brake drum on and bleed this thing a little bit, and we'll see if we still have brake fluid pouring out everywhere. Well, we bled the brakes, And it looks like I have brakes. I don't like the way the little bit of moisture around the crossover tube and between the two wheel cylinders in the rear. I can get some more tubing and make another one of those. All my wheel cylinders are holding. So I'm happy. Time to put this wheel back on. Well, I hate to say it, but I think we've finally gotten the brakes sorted out on this 1956 F500. And we'll be moving on to something else next. Maybe the electrical. And get this thing a little bit closer. Thank you for watching. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Help the channel grow. And I will see you in the next one.